Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm delighted to be able to give you a brief update on Liberty Gold. Liberty Gold is an exploration company moving into the development stage. We have 3 deposits that are in the portfolio, 2 of them in oxide gold deposits in the Great Basin of the US, and 1 TV Tower gold copper project in Turkey. I'm going to focus on the oxide gold part of the company. That's the strategy. The TV Tower project in Turkey is in a strategic process, and we see that as a source of future non-dilutive funds for the company. I will be making forward-looking statements, so these are the disclosure notes. Thank you very much. The capital structure of the company, 345 million shares outstanding. Most importantly, at last reporting period, we had just over $11 million in the bank. We're somewhere around 9 at the moment, and that money will fund us through our plans for 24 in terms of bringing Black Pine through a pre-feas and into the permitting process. Wheaton Precious Metals came onto the register last year, where we flipped a royalty from a private holder into Wheaton, a 0.5% royalty, which is the only royalty on Black Pine. And in doing so, we secured a 50% buyback right, so we'll take that royalty down at some point before production to 0.25%. That's a unique position for a large oxide gold project in the Great Basin. So, and we're pleased to have Wheaton on our register. They came in for just under 6% at that time. A couple of comments on the gold strike. That's a 1.5 million ounce oxide gold system in southern Utah. We're not focused on that at the moment, other than de-risking the project and securing a water supply. We've done a PEA. For those who know that part of the world, it's very dry. And we are in discussions with the water district to figure out how do we find a water supply to mine that over the next period. So main focus, Black Pine. 4 key catalysts for this year. We have already delivered the updated resource. I'll talk a little bit about that in a moment, but essentially we made the 3 million indicated ounces, which is what we needed to create a resource model to underpin the pre-feasibility study. And that pre-feasibility study is going to demonstrate a development pathway for what is a technically straightforward, that's run-of-mine, heap leach, multi-open pit oxide deposit in a very environmentally simple and straightforward area. So we've delivered that updated resource. We're proceeding now with the pre-feasibility study. M3 are the lead engineers, and we have some well-known players. Newfields are doing the heap design. Knight Piésold Geotech, so that is working very nicely, and we're on track for a Q3 release of that pre-feas. The information from the pre-feas feeds into what's called a mine plan of operations. That's the document that you submit to the federal agency to kick off the NEPA permitting process. That's the National Environmental Policy Act, and that's the act that determines the federal permitting process for a mine in the US. Parallel to the stream on the engineering and permitting, we are going to turn the drills back on. We were drilling last year to upgrade the resource, the inferred to indicated, beg your pardon. And we have a new plan of operations which will open up an area for us to do some additional drilling. These are the numbers on the resource. 3.2 million ounces in indicated, 300,000 in inferred, but most importantly, just under 2 million combined inferred and indicated ounces at a 1 gram head grade. That's at a 0.5 cutoff. And that high grade material, as you see in the picture, are these red blobs. So we get high grade distributed throughout the mineralized sequence, and that's really what's carrying the economics of this project. We have high-grade cores and then lower-grade dissemination coming around those cores. We did 40,000 meters of drilling last year to get to this resource. And there's a total of just under 3,000 drill holes in this deposit for some 422 kilometers. So it's a drill-hungry resource, and it's got a lot more upside potential. What does that upside potential look like? Where is it? This area here, the C, sort of C shape or sort of half donut, if you like, that is an additional 40% increase in the area that we're allowed to explore in. We've completed an EA on that area, and we're expecting the forest to come to a decision notice on that late Q2, and that then would provide us an opportunity to get the drills back to work, focused on some key targets, which I'll go through in a moment. The heat colors here are the drill hole grades projected to surface. So you could see where these high-grade pieces, and there's a low-grade halo around all of these high-grade cores. Think of it as sort of raisins in a plum pudding. And talking about raisins, this is a sort of the beauty contest, the top 10, top 15, actually, I think it is, drill holes in the deposit. You know, these are the intercepts that are really driving the economics of this, and there's some very attractive numbers and some very attractive intervals here. 15 to 100 meters at grades 1 to 8 grams, and this is fully oxidized material. So this would have recoveries, grade recoveries, but at these gram levels, recoveries would be in a heap environment in excess of 80%. Most pleasingly is if you look at the years here, we've drilled out very good high-grade intercepts consistently across the time that we've been working. We've been drilling here since 2017. And so that grade distribution of a high-grade core with lower-grade material around it is holding up everywhere we find one of these things. Where are we looking next, and where are the drills going to find us the next 2 to 3 million ounces, which is what we think is around? This is geology. We have an underlying unmineralized lower plate. There's a thrust to the green rocks. That's the carbonate package that hosts this mineralization. And then overlying, we have these yellow rocks, which is a sandstone cover. So you could, in this center, imagine this as a dome where the carbonates have been upwarped. The cover's been stripped off it. That's where we've drilled near surface. But we've got areas now peripheral where we have sandstone cover here, and these are the new targets, particularly this burnt basin. The pink here are soil anomalies, gold anomalies in the sandstones. This is relatively thin because we can see carbonates either side. So we've got a fantastic target here that's got enough footprint to replicate the rangefront discovery. That's 1.1 million ounces that we drilled out over the last 2 years. And as soon as we can turn the drills back here, we are excited to get back into that area and see the potential of this deposit. Last slide, back to sort of the production. We have forward production through permitting. Idaho is a great place to do business. It's the gold state. It's got a long history of mining. We happen to be in the southern part of Idaho. There are really 2 Idahos. There's the forests and moose and streams and salmons and rivers, and then there's the dry, arid part of Idaho where little vegetation, little habitation. We're in that part here. And so from a permitting point of view, no timber values, no threatened and endangered species, no surface water, quite straightforward just from a point of view of being able to permit this, we think. Run-of-mine heap leach, a primary heap leach facility and a second one. We think we need capacity up to 750 million tons in those heaps. That's an awful lot of dirt. Analog here would be the Marigold mine owned by SSR just outside Winnemucca. They moved their billionth ton in November last year. So we think this is a very similar process. We planned, as I said, to submit our mine plan of operations in 2024, and we can see line of sight to a decision from the federal agencies late 27, construction decision, and then 28 into construction and production. Simple multi-pit operation, run a mine heap leach, no crushing. This is going to be a fantastic long-lived mine with great margins. Please come and talk to us in the booth outside if you have any further questions. Thank you very much.